Let's embrace innovative volunteerism. Away, as you go. Rise up, you and me are the solutions to this challenge. Let's embrace innovative volunteerism. Away, as you go. Rise up, you and me are the solutions to these challenges. Oh yeah. Rise up, you and me are the solutions to these challenges. Oh yeah. Innovative and volunteerism, food security and youth unemployment, climate actions and selfless solutions. These are things that we need to engage for.
My name is Steffi Maingi, an innovative volunteerism actor. And today we had visitors from Africa Center of Technology Studies who came to see the impact of the solar dryers, to interact with the farmers who are actively using the drying centers. And they're going to experience what exactly these farmers get to experience, especially the impacts in reducing post-harvest losses, in increasing revenue, and also the benefits in food security. So we're going to interact with these farmers, and we're also going to show how some of the work is done at the drying centers. So these dryers, the metallic ones, proved to be more efficient than these wooden dryers. So we moved from the wooden dryers to these metallic dryers. Yeah, so it's quite old. These are some of the first ones that we built in 2019. Okay. The main point of the dryers is to be able to curb post-harvest losses. Because if we look at how people used to dry, you just put everything outside. Then there's exposure to dirt, dust, birds and all that. And also you're not guaranteed that it's going to dry well to the amount that it's supposed to dry. So we find that we are eating food that is not healthy. And also now these farmers lose so much. So how do we curb that? That's how we came up with these solar dryers, which have been helping them. Because even the khaki women can tell you that they used to lose a lot of greens. Especially now, greens, if you don't make them fresh, what do? That is spoiled. Yeah, so that is part of value addition, and they're able to fetch more money from what has been value added, opposed to selling them fresh. Yeah, so you get to add more money, you get to reduce post-harvest losses, so it's an all-round activity. And now the beauty about it is, these dryers, we have brought people together. So what the drying centers are doing is people are cooperating around solutions. We have a number, because apart from khaki, now you see we also have other women from the society around the area who also come to dry here. Because this is quite a rich area where they farm almost everything. There's coffee, there's bananas, there's cassava, we have maize. So we have so many women who come here to dry using these dryers. And that's why we have a number of dryers. Each of these dryers carry averagely 400 to 450 kg per dryer. Now what happens is there's a group. So one of the group members will volunteer to have the dryers placed in their compound so that other people can come and benefit from that. So cassava has a ratio of 3:1. If you bring 300 kilos of cassava, it's going to give you 100 kilos of cassava. Yeah. So if per se, let's say a farmer has harvested 600 kgs and has brought them to the dryer because they can handle up to that capacity, you'll find that they will yield up to 200 cassava dry chips. Once you harvest cassava, you cannot leave it outside. It starts turning color. Yeah. So if you've harvested, you need to prepare it that same day and put it in the dryer that same day if you want to maintain the quality of cassava. And averagely, 2 days, in 2 days, that cassava will be dry. And another person can bring another batch of cassava. If you see flour from cassava that's been dried from the dryers and someone who has dried outside, there's a huge difference in terms of color and even quality. Yeah, because this does not, whichever crop you put in, it does not deteriorate the quality of the product in terms of color, in terms of nutrients, in terms of hygiene. They've been working with the dryers. They've known that we can actually dry so many value chains with the dryer. Now you see, like today, they're drying seeds because they need to plant. Every time they plant, they harvest, they come, they dry, they do value addition. Then what next? So you see, it's also advantageous because you can even dry the seeds.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So it doesn't lose anything.
Yeah, you see, even
The POs, hizi sasa tunatengeneza briquettes. Yeah, na tunauzia the community. Amani Gatero from Kirinyaga County, and I'm in charge of one of the drying centers. Since the innovative of these dryers, they have been of much help unto us, because there before we used to harvest our food, example maize, cassava, vegetables, and then they get stored there outside. But since when these dryers came on our way, they have been of very much great use unto us, because they have helped us to protect our food from direct sunlight, from storage there outside. For instance, when it rains and you are away and you have left them outside, you come back and meet that they have already been spoiled by the rain. Also, we have been able to save so much of our income from these dryers, because at times when you leave your produce outside, you get it spoiled, you have lost your income. But when they are inside the dryer, we do not incur the losses we used to incur there before. And also, these dryers have been helping the community in many ways, because in our area there is a group we call the Kak Women Water Project, and they do come to dry their vegetables in these dryers, and there before they used to lose so much of their vegetables. But currently, they do harvest their vegetables, they come and dry, then they sell them as the dried vegetables, and they fetch a lot of money. And so it have been a way of an income to that group. Also the community at ranch, they have been coming into the drying centers to dry their produces. For example, cassava, bananas, sorghum, wheat, seedlings, they dry them in the dryers. And so they are not incurring the losses they used to incur there before. And so these dryers have not only be a benefit to us, but also to the community at ranch, because they have been coming in large numbers to dry their produces. Also, I do thank the Emba Group Pamoja, the Innovative Volunteerism Group, which has brought these dryers. They have been also a help and to the only people who cannot be able to leave their crops outside, then they run after when the rain comes. Or they sit down and watch after them, because the birds used to come and destroy them. But now they are safe. When you put your produces in the dryer, you just go your way, then you come and immediately they are already dry. So hygienically, they have also helped us. So what I would like to say is this: these dryers have been of help to us. And we thank the Emba Group Pamoja Innovative Volunteerism, who brought on our way these dryers. They have been also a source of income to many people, because hakuna roses.
And then now you see the benefits of these dryers is that most places there's no electricity. So the beauty about it is that it does not need any electricity or any, so any sort of farmer from whichever economic background can comfortably use the dryers. If you look at the people who fabricate this dryer, they're youth below their 30s who we've been training. So we started with the wooden, as I had told you. Then we transitioned, we trained them as well to build these metallic dryers. The beauty of the dryers is that they can dry anything. So if a farmer comes and says they want to dry pumpkins or they want to dry pineapples, they can be able to use the dryer. Just that this area, they don't plant that. But anything that is planted within this area, they're able to use the dryer to dry it. Because the other areas where you see people are drying tomatoes, others are drying mangoes. So it depends with whatever is being planted in abundance in that area. That is what is brought to the dryer. So this area, it's a lot of maize, a lot of cassava, a lot of bananas, a lot of greens, because that is what is planted here. If you go to Mwea, those are rice farmers, that is what they use to dry. Yeah, exactly. So it depends with what is available. But now the dryers are very versatile. And then the good thing is that these shelves are easily cleaned. So if I remove my bananas here today and I have mangoes, I can dry the mangoes because you just wash the shelves. So they're very versatile, you can dry anything. So we did wooden shelves because we needed the the shelves to be mobile.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you do the metal ones, you can't move metal against metal. So we've had very positive feedback from very many farmers here. And that is a very big motivator for us youth who are making these solutions, because you have to do something that that creates some sort of impact.
Hello, my name is Eric. I'm a farmer from my irrigation scheme. I'm here to give my reviews about the solar dryer. So for once, the project has been of great help to us, because as compared to the experience that I was having earlier, my experience is better now, and I have a good song to sing concerning this solar dryer. Because one thing is that I'm very comfortable. Once I get my product inside the solar dryer, I don't have to waste my time anymore chasing away chickens and rodents and whatever, because the solar dryer, once I close the doors of the solar dryer, my produce is safe. The other thing is that the project is very fast, because it is getting much heat. It's so much hot inside, so my produce is getting dry faster as compared to the way I was using the direct sun drying. And the other thing is that on issues concerning the produce and the quantity of my product, is that the quantity is not going down as compared to the way it was going when I was using direct sun drying, because it is enclosed. So I'm so happy, because after all, I'm getting something in my pocket, something greater than I was getting. So I wish to congratulate the people behind this project, and I wish they can empower more youth so that they can build more of these structures, so that more people like me will benefit from them.
What we do now is we fabricate them for the farmers, and because if you look at most small-scale farmers, it becomes very expensive for them to afford. So we build, and then what now we have them do is anytime someone comes to dry, there's that small charge. Because if we say we want to wait for people to buy these dryers, then we will stay with the dryers and no one will ever buy. And our problems are still going to be the same problems. So what we do is we look at everything from a solution point of view. So how do we bring this solution to these people? And that's how we have people coming into groups cooperating around this solution. And now there's that small charge for the maintenance, of the dryers. We are working towards climate action, towards the sustainable development goals. But if we say you bring money first, then we bring this solution to you, then no one is going to benefit. We will stay with the solution and it's not helping us. And the person who is in need of the solution is not going to benefit at all. So that's why we are mobilizing farmers in groups, so that they can be able to save on post-harvest losses. And at the end of the day, we all benefit. We've installed, we have very many centers, and you find that some centers, like now this one has 3 dryers. We have a number of them because we've built many dryers. What was happening with the microfinance is there are farmers who would want to buy their own dryers. Like now you find, let's say, a farmer who has 10, 30, 50 acres. And a drying center will not be fit for them because they have a lot of produce and probably cannot afford to buy the dryer. So that was where the microfinance would come in and help them finance, exactly, to finance the dryer. The whole point of the microfinance was for farmers to be able to obtain these clean energy solutions.
Sasa sisi tumetoka African Center for Technology Studies. There is kuna project ambayo tunaita EBAFOSA ambayo tumekuwa tukifanya kazi nao.
I'm Joshua Mbaka from the African Center for Technology Studies. Definitely today we came to have an interaction and also to see what the EBA Group Pamoja has been implementing together with the farmer groups in the various places. Of course, we were interested to see also the solar drying centers that have been used by these farmers in order to do value addition and also to promote climate action as they also empower themselves economically. I have to agree that what I've seen today is so impressive in terms of also empowering the farmers to achieve their much economic empowerment Additionally, you can also see the impressive results in terms of reducing post-harvest losses. You will see the fact that it can do a variety of value chains. The solar dryers that we have seen, and having had a short interaction with these farmers, they are actually flexible to do a variety of value chains. They're doing vegetables. You find they're also doing the cereals. They're also doing the roots in terms of the cassava. And you will realize that eventually they are moving towards solving a problem. And this problem is addressing the post-harvest losses that are actually massive in the value chains in sub-Saharan Africa. So on top of promoting the climate action, you find there is this feasible solution of contributing towards food and nutrition security. And from the discussion, it's evident, and we have actually seen that even the product they are yielding, in terms of its aesthetic value and also product value as a whole, you'll find that they have done massively great in terms of achieving all this. So I would say that whatever that has been implemented, the fact that they are moving and trying to bring in solutions that the farmers can relate with and try and customize them to in solving their own problems is something that is actually worth being scaled up. Additionally, the component of bringing in on board and trying to use even the biomass to improve the efficiency of these solar dryers is an added advantage. And I would say this can contribute to achieving a solar dryer that can be used in and out of season, because in the absence of sun, you can use the biomass as a source of energy. So, thank you.
Okay, I'm Linda Kagai from African Center for Technology Studies. We visited EBAFOSA Pamoja solar dryers today. We wanted to see the impact that these solar dryers have given to the society. And what I've realized from the brief interaction and also from the brief visit for the number of solar dryers that we visited, it has made a really good impact to the youth, and also to the women, particularly for the youth. They have been trained, and this is an opportunity for them to create employment for themselves. And also the conversation that we've had with the women group, they've indicated that these solar dryers have really made a change to the economy of the society, in the instance that it has reduced the losses, and also it has given them an opportunity to increase the economic value. Instance, for the dried cassavas, it has really made them get income through selling them at a higher market price. And also this has also been done with the vegetables. And I've seen they're really happy with this innovation. And I believe if these things could be scaled up, it can make a huge difference to the whole of the society. Another thing what I've seen is it's far from this innovation, but it's also the organic farming, and this has also created a good impact for them, in that they're not really focusing on fertilizer, which has bad impact on the environment. And also we've seen even the products they produce. It has a much difference from the ones that have been used, the commercial fertilizers. And these has I believe if these things could also be scaled up to other regions, it can make a huge impact. For me, I believe this is a good initiative. And if more youths could be trained on this initiative, I think it could create a huge impact. Because in Kenya, we've seen a lot of unemployment. So for us, if we can be very creative in the sense that we bring youth to have this kind of techniques and also this kind of skills, it can create a difference in the society, and also it can create more employment for many youths. So thank you so much for hosting us, and we're very grateful that you've really created an impact that for something that we didn't think that it will create much of this impact, but we've seen it is something massive, and it is good for the society.
So we have interacted with farmers. We have visited a number of drying centers, and we have gotten to experience some of the benefits that these farmers get from using the solar dryers. One of them being that once they harvest, for example, now greens, they get to dry them and they get to fetch more money. We have been given a perfect example whereby Sukuma wiki costs 20 shillings per kg when it's fresh, but when it is dried, it costs 50 shillings a kg, meaning that they're able to fetch 30 shillings more, which they didn't have prior to that, because even getting that 20 shillings was hard, especially when there's a bumper harvest and they don't know where to take their greens. So what they do is they dry them, and now they sell them when it's a dry season, whereby they're able to fetch money. So apart from the benefit of reducing post-harvest losses, of increasing food security, the solar dryers have helped them to generate income for themselves. And we have gotten to see that not only one value chain, but multiple value chains, especially in this area. We have seen that farmers are drying bananas, cassavas, greens, and there's a huge variety of greens from renda, mchicha, spinach, pumpkin leaves. And apart from that, grains like beans and maize, which they're able to dry using the solar dryers. These solar dryers have also helped them ensure that they're eating healthy food, because once you're able to dry with the dryer, there is no, the amount of aflatoxin will have, there will be no aflatoxin, because the dryers are drying efficient. If you used to dry cassava with a whole week, now you're using a day or 2 days maximum, or even up to hours to dry. So the farmers have really enjoyed having the drying centers, because they're benefiting them from each and every way. And as youth who fabricated these solar dryers, we are going to continue innovating these solutions to ensure that we are impacting climate action, food security, and other aspects as well, like clean energy. Thank you.
This is impact. This is climate action. This is what each and every one of us should do. Ushering ourselves to action is our own fierce urgency of now, to drive climate action solutions that touches lives of mothers in villages, that help inspire youth to be able to retool their skills and become useful. And in the course of becoming useful, they devise solutions that can touch millions of lives. That's innovative volunteerism. That's impact. And that's what each and every one of us must do. Climate action is a need, and we must usher ourselves and become stakeholders in taking climate action in a way that drives socio-economic opportunity. This is innovative volunteerism. This is impact. This is what we must be able to all do, because that's how we can drive transformational development for people and planet.
We want to thank you, Innovative Volunteerism, for the project that you've brought onto us. It is working, it's good, it's cool. Hey, yeah, it's working, it's good. Mina washukuru kwa nyote Innovative Volunteerism kwa project mlotuletea ya manufaa kwetu sana. Ninashukuru kwa nyote Innovative Volunteerism kwa project mlotuletea ya manufaa kwetu sana.